I used to feel proud of my ability to seemingly effortlessly navigate my way through stressful events. I learned the hard way that there's a difference between riding the roller coaster of step up and step back and being out of touch with how I'm feeling. Just because I appeared calm and had a smile fixed on my face, it didn't mean I was okay. And if I wasn't showing what was really going on, how could my colleagues and friends help me? Today I'm lifting the lid on the mental, physical and emotional cost of denying the heavy load you're really carrying. I'm also sharing 2 very powerful strategies for becoming even more resilient in the face of stress. Let's get started, shall we? Well, hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Project Joyful podcast. I'm your host, Tracy, your medical herbalist and high performance coach. So, hey, Project Joyful isn't just about being happy. It's about consciously creating a life you love. It's about remembering how to reconnect with your soul-centered joy. You know, that joy that comes from doing what you love, from living on purpose, and from being in a life that allows you to experience deep joy moment by moment. So hey, let's get started, shall we? Early on in my career, when the inevitable question came up during the job interview about my strengths and my weaknesses, I used to share how I could navigate through stressful situations with ease. The weakness I offered was my reluctance to delegate. I had high standards, I said. I prefer things are done to my standard. Presumably they liked that answer because I always got the job. It was years later, during a particularly stressful time, when I was juggling a particularly hairy project based out of the UK and the US, alongside the unexpected death of my father. 3 months later, my relationship had broke down, so I found myself homeless too. It was a pretty stressful and crazy time. Now here's the crazy thing. I kept on working, spinning the plates, pretending I was okay. I needed a coffee to get going in the morning and a glass or 2 of wine at night to calm me down, but that was normal, right? Weekends involved a lot of alcohol as I attempted to numb that gnawing emptiness inside of me. Then my project finished. I suddenly had time. I realized feeling worn out wasn't actually related to jet lag or to my project. I still needed a coffee to get going and a couple of glasses of wine at night to relax. It wasn't that I was good at dealing with stress, it's that I denied its existence. I was wired and I was tired. I was heading down Denial Avenue towards a town called Burnout, and I had no idea. Stress is a psychophysiological response to excessive pressure, and nobody's immune to it. It's normal and it's natural. We're designed to rise to the occasion, then when the pressure subsides, we rebuild, replenish, and recover. This is the nature of resilience, being able to ride that wave. Just because we're able to keep a lid on it, it doesn't mean we're dealing with it. It sometimes means we're burying it. And that can have serious repercussions on your relationships, on your mental health, and your physical health. Researchers have found that long-term stress, it lowers immunity and it creates a state of low-grade chronic inflammation. And they suggest that this combination may be the precursor to diseases such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, some cancers, some autoimmune conditions, and mental disorders like anxiety and depression. I wonder, is it a coincidence that these conditions are on the rise? Now, I know many experts are saying there's too much stress in this world, but the research says we can manage the depth of our stress response and therefore the impact it has on our health by our perception of whether we can handle what's before us. And that's a choice we can each make in that moment. Researchers describe this stress response as coming from our decision on whether we can change and adapt. So choosing to find a new way instead of feeling overwhelmed removes the detrimental effect of the stressor. But pretending you're not stressed removes the opportunity for you to make that choice in that moment. And the good news is that you get to make a new choice moment by moment. Now, some things are stressful and we need to face them. Give yourself the gift of recovering from that stressful event when that happens. We get burnt out when we navigate from one stressful event to another, If you had a bank account that had a nice, healthy balance, and all you did was make withdrawals, what would happen? Eventually, your bank account couldn't support your lifestyle. It's the same with your body. You're born with your own energy balance. You add to it when you laugh, love, take in nutrient-dense foods, move your body, enjoy. You withdraw from it when you're stressed, when you're unwell, when you have a cigarette, when you fly, when you sit at your desk unmoving for more than an hour. And your energy bank account has deposits and withdrawals in it all day, every day, and through the night as well. It's okay to go through a stressful event, make a few withdrawals, as long as you invest the time and deposit more than you took out. You can't beat stress by pretending it's not there. It's affecting your health, your vitality, and your well-being, regardless of whether you're aware of it or not. So as I said, the trick is to ride that roller coaster. Acknowledge when you're stressed. Get down in the weeds with it. Can you change and adapt to lessen the stress effect? Here's a hint. You can always adapt, even if it's just a little bit. This is your life. You are the sovereign of your energy field. Okay, so after adapting, changing the narrative, for example, is it still stressful? If it is, that's okay. What can you do to give back to your body? You're not sure? Join me next week. I'm going to be sharing what you can do to boost your recovery and to increase your resilience with just 3 simple techniques. Sending you lots of love. Bye for now. Well, hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Project Joyful podcast. I'm your host, Tracy, your medical herbalist and high performance coach. So, hey, Project Joyful isn't just about being happy. It's about consciously creating a life you love. It's about remembering how to reconnect with your soul-centered joy. You know, that joy that comes from doing what you love, from living on purpose, and from being in a life that allows you to experience deep joy moment by moment. So hey, let's get started, shall we?